So let's look at this question 6. So the question said, a shape which has been of interest to architects and artists over the centuries is the golden rectangle. Okay, so this is golden rectangle somehow. Many have thought that it has the perfect proportions for buildings. The rectangle is such that if a square is drawn on one of the longest sides, then the new rectangle is similar to the original. The new rectangle. Okay, let the length of AP equal to 1 unit. Okay, so AP 1 unit, as you can see, is written there, 1 unit. Then AB equal to 1 minus x, 1 minus x. And AP to AD, AP to AD, okay, that is for the rectangle, is equal to AD to AB. Okay, so same ratio. Find the values of x. The values of x. So we need to find this x. Okay, now this value is the reciprocal of the golden ratio. Okay, what is golden ratio? We don't want to care first. So let's just solve the questions. And what we need to do is we make use of the ratio given. So we have AP over AD equal to AD over AB. Okay, so if I look at the picture here, the AD is actually x. Okay, so I replace with x. And the the top one is AP. Yeah, so AP should be this one. AP is 1. Okay, so I replace with 1. And then AD is x, so I replace with x.
Yeah.
Then AD is x, and AB, as you can see, AB is 1 minus x. Okay, so I replace with 1 minus x here. So now we need to find the values of x by solving this. So we cross multiply.
Can I just check something?
Oh yeah,
so
sure.
When you say AP,
okay,
you mean like the whole thing, which is 1, correct?
Yes, the whole thing, 1.
Yeah. So that's 1.
Yeah.
And then when you say PQ, oh wait, no, but you don't have PQ. So if you say AD,
okay,
it's x.
Yes, it's x. AD is x. Same
Okay,
with this
and
one.
then AB is 1 minus x.
Yes, which is here. Yeah. So
is
1
that
minus
minus 1 or is that 1?
This minus is actually, it's not a minus, it's an arrow actually. The line
It's
of the
part
arrow.
of that arrow. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay then. Yep, I understand.
Okay, so then I just continue. What to do is we cross multiply then. Okay, so we cross multiply, and what we get is we get 1 minus x on the left, we get x squared on the right, and after that x squared, imagine everything shift to the right, x squared plus x minus 1 equal to 0. And to find the values of x, I know that we cannot factorize the quadratic, so I am going to use the quadratics formula, where my a is 1, my b is also 1, and then my c is minus 1. So I use this formula, minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac square root over 2a. Okay, then I substitute accordingly. Minus 1 plus minus 1 square minus 4 1 minus 1 square root over 2 1. Okay. Then after that, we need to count this. So I'm going to start from everything in the square root. So I have 1 plus 4, which is square root of 5 over 2. Okay, then I have minus 1. I separate the plus minus here. Minus 1 plus 5 over 2. Minus 1 minus 5 over 2. So this one I'm going to say invalid, as this is a negative number. The x here represent the length of one side of the square, so it must take positive values. Okay, so because of that, we reject the negative value, and the value is going to be this then. And of course, we can just change this to decimal also. Then you will realize this is 0.618. Yeah, so that is the answer for question 6. Question 6 finish. Okay, so let us continue with this question 7. The point P is x meter. X meter from B. Okay, so that means here to here will be x meter. So let me put the labeling. So here to here, x meter. Okay. Then find distance PA in terms of x. Distance PA. Okay, this one. In terms of x. Okay, so what to do here? We should expect a right angle triangle over there. So let me rub away this x meter first. Then I put my x meter down here. Okay, so we want to look for this PA. So we can see a right angle triangle ABP here. So ABP is a right angle triangle, and we are looking for PA. We have to use Pythagoras Theorem. So what to do is, we have 5, we have x, then we have PA. Okay, so the Pythagoras Theorem is going to be like this, where PA square equal to AB square plus BP square. So AB square is 5 square. BP square is going to be x square. So we get PA as square root of 25 plus x square. So that is our PA. Now we continue with B part 1. Find distance PC, which is this, PC, in terms of x. Okay, so we can put it in this way. As we know, here to here is going to be 16 minus x. You know, the whole length is 16 meter, so minus x meter, then we get this part. Okay, so this is 16 minus x. Okay, so that will be the answer for B part 1. PC equal to 16 minus x. And part 2, find distance PD in terms of x. PD. Okay, so again, this is going to be a right angle triangle. PD. Okay, so we can see the right angle triangle here, PDC. They make a right angle triangle. So we have to use Pythagoras Theorem again, where PD power 2 equal to PC power 2 plus CD power 2. PC is going to be 16 minus x square.
Okay.
And then 3 square. So we have to use Pythagoras Theorem. And what we can do is we expand. We expand this bracket first. So imagine this is going to be 2 bracket 16 minus x followed by 16 minus x plus 3 square, which is 9. So 16 multiplied with 16 is going to be 256. Then minus, imagine you expand like this, like that. Okay, then you get minus 16x minus 16x plus x squared plus 9. So we get x squared minus 32x, and we have 256 plus 9, we have 265. So PD is equal to the square root of this. Okay, so that is the answer for PD. Now we look at part C. Find x if PA equal to PD. Okay, so PA is this one, PD is this one. So now they are saying that they are equal. So we just do it here, part C. PA equal to PD. Okay, so PA is square root of 25 plus x squared. PD is square root of x squared minus 32x plus 265. So what we can do here, we square both sides in this way so that we can cancel off the square root. So the square root and the square cancel off, and now we have only 25 plus x squared and x squared minus 32x plus 265. Okay, so after that, imagine that if I shift x squared to the left, I will get x squared minus x squared, which cancel off. So they are going to be cancelled off. So I just cancel off straight away here. Okay, and after that we are looking for x values. So we just solve the equation. Now we have 25 equal to minus 32x plus 265. Rearrange this, 32x, 265 minus 25. Okay, so where 265 minus 25 is going to be 240, and then 240 divided by 32, so we get 7.5. Okay, so that is the answer for C. Now for D, PA equal to 2PD. Answer correct to 3 decimal places. Okay, so let's solve this. Question D. PA equal to 2PD. So again, for PA, we can refer to this one, which is square root of 25 plus x squared. Then we have 2 followed by PD. So for PD, we refer to this square roots of x squared minus 32x plus 265. Okay, so we need to solve this equation, and this time it is slightly different. We square both sides also. So first, the square and the square root cancel off on the left hand side. So what we get is 25 plus x squared. But for the right hand side, it is slightly different, because when you square this, when you square right hand side, you have to square the 2 as well as the whole square root here. So you have to square both. So in that case, 2 squared, we get 4. And then for the square root, we get x squared minus 32x plus 265. So we get something like this, and I expand 4 into 3 of these terms here. So I will get 4x squared and 32 times 4, so 128x. 265 times 4, I will get 1060. Okay. So imagine I shift this to the right. So 4x squared minus x squared, I will get 3x squared. Minus 128x remain. And then when I shift 25 over, I have to minus 25. So I will have 1060 minus 25. So I will get 1035. And we have to use quadratics formula to solve this. So I write down A, B, and C first. Now we use the quadratics formula. Minus B plus minus B squared minus 4AC square root over 2A. Okay, so 12A plus minus. Okay, so we just count everything.
Why is the
yes.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
So there's 2 minuses at the very start of the equation. Why is that? Why is there 1 in front of the 128?
Okay, because of the formula. Okay, let me write down the formula first. The formula itself is...
But I thought it was only plus minus.
Oh yeah, the plus minus is here at the back.
At
the back. So in front of it is minus B. So over 2A. Okay, so you can see why there are 2 minuses. First, the formula itself, there is a minus. So it is this. And then the other minus is because the B is a negative value. So that's why there is another negative here. So it's because of the formula, minus B. So minus, and this is B. So that's why it's like that. So you can look at the formula to understand it. Okay, and now let's say I count everything in the square root first, everything here. So of course this is a big value, I just use calculator. 128 squared minus 4 times 3 times 1035. Okay, so I get 3,964 over 6. Okay, so again I'm going to separate the plus minus. I'm going to have 128 plus square root of 3964 over 6. Yeah, this is the first one. 128 minus square root of 3964 over 6. Okay, 2 values here. So again, let's come back to the questions. As you can see, x is going to be the length from here to here. So it must be a positive values. So let's see whether if we have any negative value, we just reject it. So let's count the first fractions. For the first fractions, we get 31.827. So let's see the question first. They said 3 decimal places. Yes, okay, so I just leave the answer like this. Okay, for the second one, let's check with calculator for this. 128 minus square root of 3964 divided by 6, 10.840. Okay, now let's see whether it is reasonable or not for 2 of the values here. So if you look at the picture, right, the whole length of BC is just 16 meter. So BP is just part of the 16 meter. So we should expect the x meter here to take value smaller than 16. And let's come back to our two answers here. So it seems like this is greater than 16. So this is not reasonable based on the picture. And because of that, we just say this is invalid. So we don't take this as the answer. So I just rub away this thing. And the only answer that we can take will be this one. Will be the one on the right. And this is smaller than 16 meter. So based on the diagram, we can see that our x meter is just part of the 16 meter. So 10 point something is reasonable. Okay. Now we look at E then. Find x if PA equal to 3 PD. Okay, so let's say I do it here on the left hand side, part E. PA equal to 3 PD. Okay, so again, PA we have square root of 25 plus x squared. 3. For PD, we have x square roots of x squared minus 32x plus 265. Okay, so now what we can do is we have to square both sides again. Okay, so we square both sides. So when you square both sides, basically we can cut away the square root and the square. On the left, we get 25 plus x squared. And on the right, when you square, you have to know that this square will be taken by the 3 as well as the square root. So 3 take square will be 9, and then the square root and the square will cancel off. Then this remains. Okay, now we have something like this. So we solve this. First I multiply or I expand the 9 into 3 of that. So 9x squared. And 9 times 32, I have negative 288. And then I have 9 times 265, I have 2385. 25 plus x squared then on the left. Okay, now I shift everything to the right. So imagine x squared minus with, 9x squared minus with x squared. So I will have 8x squared. And then minus 288x. And I shift 25 to the right. Then I will have minus 25. So I will have 2385 minus 25. So I have 2360. Okay, so I write again in the normal way. So I'm trying to check whether all these are divisible by 8 or not. So if it's divisible by 8, I will divide by 8 first. Okay, yes, they are divisible by 8. So I divide by 8 first, so that I get a smaller number. 288 divided by 8, I have 36x. 2360 divided by 8, I have 295. Okay, so I'm going to use quadratic equation again. So this time A is 1, B is minus 36, C is 295. Okay, so the quadratics formula, x equal to minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a. Then we have 36. Okay, again we count everything in the square root first. So minus 36 square minus 4 times 1 times 295. So we have square roots of 116. over 2, and we separate them. So the first fraction takes plus, and the second fraction takes minus. Okay, then we count it out. We put them in decimal number. 36 plus square roots of 116 divided by 2. So that is going to be 23.385, and the other value $12.615. Okay, so again, when you look at the picture, we should know that x is part of the whole length of 16 meter, and because of that our x value should be smaller than 16, and we can't take 23, we have to take 12.615. So we have to write there invalid for this case. So this is invalid. So the answer will be this. Okay, so we settle these questions.